Sunrise, Thomas Fishery, Cape Arid National Park. Even in the middle of nowhere, they know the equation. Always watching.
That morning I put the drone up because I wanted to see if I could catch a glimpse of Lake Hillier, a saline lake on the edge of Middle Island. Being 10k or so offshore, I could see Middle Island from the air as it's the largest of the islands that make up the Recherche archipelago. No luck with Lake Hillier, however, it was just too far away. Although some clouds set in overnight, it did not deter from the magic scenery at Cape Arid. This is really an amazing area, and if you have not visited, it's well worth the effort. If you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, after being in the remote bush for well over 2 weeks, it was time to head into civilization to recommission. Esperance was our target town, and the plan was to spend a few days there and also check out the surrounding attractions. Let's get stuck into it. We are now leaving the Thomas Fisheries camp, and it's rained on us just to make these rocks a little bit more interesting. Hopefully they're not too slippery. No, they have a reasonable amount of grip. That's good. They're everywhere. See what happens when we get around this corner if we surprise some.
I see one on the corner.
Is there? Wait. Okay, he is. He's just standing there. Far out.
There's rabbits everywhere.
They are everywhere. You saw the holes yesterday. You thought there would have been.
I said these are rabbit holes.
Everybody. That's cheeky. He didn't even get off the road. He just stood there.
Here's one along the side.
Right.
There's a lot of rabbits. Think how many babies they're making every day.
We're staying in Esperance for a few days to recommission, and we're coming out to Wiley Head, and we're going to run along the beach, the Wiley Beach, to Cape LeGrand. And that is the rock that everybody drives down. So we're going to go check it out. Got to drop the tires down first. We're going up the hill over to Wiley Head. And there's an oncoming vehicle.
And a ship in the background.
And a ship.
And another ship.
And another ship. What, the ship?
That was nice of him to back down for us.
That was very nice of him to back down for us.
Give him away.
I will. Thanks, mate.
15697.
This is the photo spot that you see everybody pulled up at. So we'll have to do it.
Run, shithawk.
I'm a shithawk and I want me some shitting. Well, we're at Wiley Head. I'm going to walk over to these rocks so I can get a shot back towards the vehicle. But look how stunning these waters are. Woo-wee! The color is just insane. Wow, that is stunning. Stunning! And there's the rock that everybody talks about. Driving up the face of that. Somebody down over here on the lower end of it pulled up, having a bit of a look. And unbelievably, we're the only ones here. Super cool. Man, I just can't get over the color of that water. It keeps tripping me out. I feel a bit like that Bible dude that walked across the water with the seas parted for him. What was that Bible dude's name that had the seas split for him and he walked across the lake, river, water? I can't remember either. I was like, Noah? No, he's the dude
No,
with the boat.
Jesus walked across the water. I don't
There
know.
was some guy that had water split for him. Remember that? Nah, got nothing either. Well, this is the rock at Wiley Head.
No, I can't walk up.
That's how steep it is. Joe can't walk up it.
I'm sliding.
I'm up on top of the Wiley Headland. And have a look at that beach. That's what we're going to be running along all the way down to Cape Legrand. My goodness, look at that. Sensational. Right, this is the beach run up to Cape Legrand. Man, that seaweed is like mountains.
It is. It's. What would you do? Could you make anything out of it?
I don't know.
Stuff a sticky bean bag. Imagine the smell. When it got damp, look at all the birds.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a comfy nest.
All right, we're running east back towards Cape Legrand National Park, up the beach. This is kind of cool, a little rocky headland. A bit chopped up through here. Maybe once we get down a little further, it'll smooth out just from traffic vehicles. That's about a 15-kilometer run to Cape Legrand. And I don't know whether the camera picks it yet, but it's where those hills meet the water. Couple of bikes around the beach. Awesome. Well, it's a bit different driving to Fraser Island, for example. You know, we're on low tide right now, dead low. And there isn't really much of a beach to run along in terms of the wet and hard-packed stuff. It's only about a car width wide. Whereas on Fraser on low tide, you know, you can fit 20 cars wide. The other thing is the sand is a lot softer here, so you've got to feed it more. I'm in third gear, torque converter locked. She's doing about 86 degrees water temperature and 66 degrees in the ATF. That's a lot higher than what I would see on Fraser.
Water is so blue.
Yes, that is one difference too. White sand, blue water. We've not long entered Cape Legrand National Park. We're going to punch up and try and find Lucky Bay, where apparently kangaroos hang out on the beach. That's Mount Legrand in front of us. Pretty imposing and pretty impressive. Far out. Little baby water course. No vehicles beyond this point. Okay. Before we go, have a look at that.
Beautiful.
Wow. That's a pretty awesome view right off the bonnet of your car. Water is just so clean and so blue.
How's that blue against the white?
And that is Lucky Bay in front of us. And the reason it was called Lucky Bay apparently was Matthew Flinders, who circumnavigated Australia, liked to sail at night out in the safer waters. And he got caught and he couldn't get out at nighttime, so he said, well, rather than risk it for the biscuit, I'll pull into this bay. And he did, and it was called Lucky Bay. Wow, stunning. Just visually stunning. Some scientific egghead committee dudes determined that this is the whitest sand in Australia.
Terry. Kangaroo. People on the beach. Seagulls. Granite mountains. Pristine ocean. And beautiful white sand dunes at Lucky Bay.
Only a very short distance from Lucky Bay is Thistle Cove and then Frenchman's Peak. That is called Whistling Rock. We're on the Twilight Bay Road, which you can see in the foreground running up along that hill. And my goodness, there are just so many beaches and there's just so much beauty around this Esperance area.
We have to say Esperance is probably the prettiest town we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, wow.
I have to agree with that. It's just
in the most stunning location geographically.
It is mind-blowing.
Like if you had friends come to visit you, you would have no shortages of places to take them for a view. Just one stop after another after another.
Yeah.
If you are a water person, this is the place for you. Stunning.
That's Observatory Point down there on the right.
The left?
Yeah, the left, the other right.
Why even bother? Just say down there, Terry. Honest to God. Matt, that was for you, I swear. There you go. So you can laugh at him. On left. See?
They got the sign wrong. It's on the right, obviously. Oh, a Keep Decent sign.
It is.
There's the point. Off to at about 11 o'clock. But that view in front of us is to pretty much die for as well. We're at a spot called Observatory Point, and we are going to take on these stairs. You think you can make it up there, Jill?
Definitely.
Okay, I think I can too.
Add Esperance to your bucket list, people.
We're in Stokes National Park, Stokes Inlet National Park at the moment. And we're heading towards a little place called the Young River Scenic Site. See whether we can get a lunch spot there all to ourselves. Judging by the gate that I went through earlier and the lack of tracks, I'd say the chances are pretty good for us. Well, we found our little picnic spot here on the Young River in Stokes Inlet National Park. There's a little four-wheel drive track, maybe about, 5 or 10 kilometers to get back here. But it's a lovely little spot. And no bugger here. We're We're in Fitzgerald River National Park. We are going to hunt ourselves down a campsite. We are closing in on Easter. It is only, 4 days away? And that could mean things could get difficult for us in terms of finding spots. That is called East Mount Barron. Pretty impressive. I like the way they put the road right at the base of the mountain. Good on you, engineers. Jill said it, and she's dead right. This is one of those car commercial roads.
Or Top Gear from the old days.
Good Top Gear. Here's a camp area at Fitzgerald River National Park, and we actually had the whole campsite to ourselves last night, which is pretty amazing considering that the Easter long weekend is 2 days away. I can't remember the name of this campsite. I'll look it up a bit later and pop it on the screen for you. You definitely wouldn't get a two-wheel drive car down here. That track doesn't look all that steep, but up around that corner it gets pretty gnarly. And here's the bay, or the inlet, that we've camped up beside. Bit of foam's been stirred up by the wave action. Again, I can't remember the name of this bay either. Give me a break, it's 6 a.m., but I'll pop that up on the screen for you. We're going to be going for a walk this morning up the West Barron Peak. I think it's about a 3-kilometer return trip up to the top of the peak and back. Wow, a defib. Hope we don't need that, because Jill and I are going on this East Mount Barron hike. 2.6k return, allowed 2 to 3 hours. Moderately difficult, apparently. Boot cleaning station. One bummer about this particular park is every single dirt road and 4-wheel drive track is closed because of this dieback. So it's all bitumen only.
Oh, look at the web on that one.
These are freaky, aren't they?
Oh, hard and scratchy. Listen.
Holy cow. Really cool. I don't know what they're called, but I like them. It's like out of the dinosaur ages, isn't it? Yep. These ones are hard and yellow. These ones are hard and red. And these ones are hard and dead. This particular one has a bird nest in it. But nobody's home. There's the road we came in on. Hammersley Inlet is just over that hill. And that is where we camped last night. No, the other way is rock climbing material.
Okay. Did it.
Good job. That's Hopetown, or Hope Tune in the background, however you pronounce it. on the top of Mount Barron now. And that road that you can see down there is the road that we came in on last night. There's a couple little viewing parking areas there. Must be for the sunset, I'd say. There should be a track off to your right. Jill's doing the final push to the summit. Just going up that little crack that goes off to her left. And oh, hallelujah. Well, this being a class 4 trail, hon, at least we've now got a benchmark of knowing what class 4 is.
Okay,
so
yeah.
If we see a 5, we know it's harder, and if we see a 3, we know it's easier.
Okay.
Well, we've been walking down the mountain now for about a half an hour, and this is our first glimpse of the parking lot. And you can see our truck is the only one sitting there in that parking lot. It's been a stunning walk. The next time you see us will probably be down on the flat, but it just goes to show, get off your ass and put a little bit of effort in, and you can actually get out to some of these pretty stunning places on foot. Four-wheel driving's awesome, but it's nice to get out and actually smash out a couple of kilometers on foot as well. National Park said that this was a 3K hike that would take between 2 and 3 hours. I reckon they're pretty close to accurate. For us, it's probably going to have taken 2.5 hours by the time we get down, but we dawdled too. We took a lot of photos, blah 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 all the way up. Enough blah 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 for me. Ciao.
We are at Barron's Lookout. We just climbed this mountain. Unfortunately, this isn't the best view of it from this viewing area. You're gonna fall over there.
I almost fell off the footpath. Climbed the bloody mountain, break my leg on the footpath. We're outside of Ravensthorpe heading towards the Stirling Ranges, and it's like Armageddon through here at the moment. There's been a fire through here, and it's been a big one and a hot one because there's nothing left. I wonder if this is the remnants of that fire where the water tanker went down. Well, the Stirling Ranges does not have any camping in it, at least not as far as I can tell. So Jill has booked us some accommodation in a town outside of the Stirling Ranges, which is very fortuitous timing, because I don't know whether the GoPro is picking this up or not, but it is pretty feral up there in front of us. This massive bloody easterly wind blowing these showers off the ocean. And have a look at that. That is socked in. Well, we're traveling through Chester Pass Road, which is right through the center of the Stirling Ranges. Cannot get over how scenic it is through here. I saw a guidepost on the left. There's another one on the right. And they were the same colors. Amazing. Well, it's the following morning. We've made it to our accommodation, which is Kendenup Cottages, or Kendenup Lodge, just outside of Stirling Range National Park. And when we pulled in last night, I had a flat tire. Now, about a week ago, I've organized a replacement of all 4 of these tires in Perth because they are toast. You can see they've copped an absolute flogging, getting cut up on all of those rocks. And they've all got big gashes in them like this. This is the tire that I pulled off. It's got another gash here. I'm going to try and plug that just as an emergency repair, so I still have 5. But that's going to change our plans a little bit because I'm not prepared to do any serious off-road work when I've got these tires carved up the way that they are. Like I said, we got 5 days to get into Perth, so we'll just have to work on what our plans are going to be. But in the meantime, I'll see if I can plug that so we've got an emergency tire. The spare I got on it, it's brand Spanners, so that shouldn't give me any dramas, knock on wood. And the replacement tires I've organized are a set of Toyo mud tires. Not run Toyos before, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. And I was a bit disappointed at how these BFs got cut up the way they did. They're starting to wear in an odd pattern as well. They've kind of got these weird scallops on the blocks of the tread. Anyway, BF bye-bye, Toyo hello. Well, I got 5 plugs in there. I got 1 in there. That one's holding. That one's still got a bit of a leak, but that's not my problem. Look at these bulges here when I put some air in the tire. One there, and another massive one there. So this tire is RS. That can't even really be used in an emergency.